of Srila Prabhupada. So Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Swami actually instructed Prabhupada to take this message over to the West. Yeah, and like Prahlad mentioned, that there is so many temples everywhere. Every corner there is a temple. Even there is a temple in Eldoret. So this is the work of actually Srila Prabhupada, and also this is actually Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur actually instructed Prabhupada to take this religion everywhere. So this is, we are very grateful to Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur. Yeah, so this is what it is.
Avinash Prabhuji, can I just say that Srila Prabhupada had come to Eldoret? So obviously there has to be a center there, and soon we should have a temple there, because he himself came to Eldoret. It's a small inconspicuous town, but he had come when he had come to Nairobi.
Yeah, that's quite good. Prabhupada went to every corner of the world, and then that's the thing. That's the, at his age, you should, we should really think about, at his age, he did this. We can't do it at our age, but he had total faith in Krishna. Total faith in Krishna he had. Okay. So going to this text now, we are doing text 8:16. Yeah. Abrahma bhuvana loka punar avartino arjuna mam upetya tu konteya punar janma na vidyate. From the highest planet in the material world down to the lowest, all the places of misery are the places of misery, wherein repeated birth and death take place. But one who attains to my abode, O son of Kunti, never takes birth again. Now, the whole message of Bhagavad Gita in this verse, that this material world is a miserable place, like we saw yesterday. And you have to go to the spiritual world to get the Anand. Now, Anand is bliss, yeah? So you have to be there. So this is realism. Real world is where we truly belong, yeah? And that is our original home, which is the spiritual world, yeah? The fact that we aspire to be happy, but happiness is not here. What is the pleasure in this place of birth? If you get everything temporarily, but you can't get away from the miseries, which we talked about yesterday, you're not happy. So when people die, usually people say rest in peace, yeah? But where is that peace? Yeah? If you have to come back to this material world, so there is no peace actually. Because we always say, I see the messages rip, yeah? And actually, if the person hasn't done anything, spiritual in this life, where is that rest in peace will come from? Because we know for sure there is reincarnation, yeah? So the main purpose for all living beings is to seek happiness, but they can't find it on a permanent basis, yeah? So intelligent person should inquire and try to find where actual happiness is found. Less intelligent person would not bother and try to find happiness within this world. So they'll try to find happiness within this world, which a person may get, but at the end, it is temporary. Yeah? To be happy in this world is doomed from the beginning. Yeah? You may build a building, social clubs, bar, yeah, leisure facilities, but this won't bring permanent happiness. What is the cause of our distress? Yeah? Why can't we switch this world to become happy? Why can't Lord, make this world happy? In Gita, we are only, it says we are only to blame as this was our choice. It was our choice actually to come here. So the answer actually, Prabhupada and also Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, they say that the answer is to surrender. Yeah, the final verse in Bhagavad Gita is Sarva Dharma Parityaja Mam Ekam Sharanam Raja Aham Sarvasya Papebhyo Moksha Ishyami Masuchaha. Yeah, so we should actually surrender. I say he will actually deliver us from all the sinful activities. So that is actually our goal. Sarva. So we need to surrender. That is the first step. Yeah. So whole material creation is temporary, and there is end to this creation. We know there is end to this creation. Yeah. Um, However, spiritual world is eternal. There is no end to it. Eternal. It will always be there. But material creation will be destroyed in time to come. Yeah. So, yeah, it is temporary. Yeah, and it will always be there. And the choice is ours. We should try to understand what is real. Yeah. We see this place as a miserable, but we shouldn't be totally negative about it. Yeah, we see this as a miserable place, and sometimes it comes across that we are actually being negative about this. We're being pessimistic about this world, but we shouldn't be. Yeah, we have to remain positive and be grateful that we have acquired this human form of life. So this human form of life actually can actually give us, we have got that intelligence to distinguish between what is right and what is wrong. Yeah. So this is what we have been given, the human life. And by engaging our senses in Krishna, we should find the internal happiness here while in this world. So then how can we find that internal happiness while in this world? Is to carry out the devotional service, chant the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra daily. Yeah. So in Vedic culture, there is a solution. Yeah, there is a solution. As we understand the nature of material world and we've been given a way to get out of it. So there is a way to get out of it. We have got so many literatures. Yeah. So as we said, we need a guru, yeah, Siksha guru, sadhu, sangha, and shastra. We need to take hold. We need to hold on to sadhu, shastra, and sangha. So association of devotees is also vital. Yeah. So together with our devotion, actually this is visa to enter the spiritual world. So the more dedicated we are, this is our payment for the visa, and our payment is to go on chanting the names of the Lord and be, totally devotional, read his literature, be interested in his literature, and that is actually our visa to go to the spiritual world. Don't worry about the result, but you have to continue doing that. Yeah. So we saw that it is dukhalayam ashvastatam. We saw in the last thing. It is full of misery and it is temporary. So what do we want it to be? We want to go to sukhalayam shashvatam. Sukhalayam, which is full of bliss and is permanent. Shashvatam is permanent. Ashashvatam is not permanent. Yeah, it's temporary. So that's where we want to go. So there is a world beyond material. Yeah? Krishna is real and he's the Supreme Personality. Reality is to find out where eternal bliss lies, where our true happiness lies. Okay. So Ananda Buddhi Vardhanam. Yeah, Ananda Buddhi Vardhanam. So every morning we should wake up and see our real boss. Yeah, through Mangalarti every day. Yeah, chant his names, hear about him, associate with devotees, and you find all devotees very blissful. Actually, when you see all the devotees, I know we say that sometimes devotees, you have got some misunderstanding between devotees, but usually majority of the devotees, you'll find them blissful. So the thing is, you will find them actually singing and dancing the glories of the holy name. Yeah, you'll see on the streets, people are so much with the drums and kartals and all that. They're singing and dancing. Yeah, they're enjoying the Krishna's kirtan. Yeah, so, and also the thing is, you have to treat your home actually as Krishna's belonging. Yeah, treat your home as you are being in the temple. Yeah, so you need, and your family, you need to treat them as Krishna's devotees. So whatever you do, yeah. So there's also other thing is you need to engage all our senses in Krishna. So it is said in Nectar of Devotion, Sarva Upadi Vinur Muktam Tat Paratwena Nirmalam Rishikena Rishikesha Sevanam Bhaktir Uchyate. Yeah. So bhakti or devotional service means engaging all our senses in the service of the Lord, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is the master of all. Yeah? When the spirit soul renders the service unto the Supreme, there are two sides of effects. One is freed from all material designation, and one's senses are purified simply by being employed or engaged in the service of the Lord. So that is very, very high, it is in the Nectar of Devotion. So there was an example given by Indra Yumna Swami. Actually, he said we should be like a swan. This is what we want to get into. And what are the qualities of a swan? The swan actually can separate milk from the water. So when you put milk in the water, and swan can separate milk from the water. So he takes all the nectar, yeah? And this is how we should be. We should be trying to get all the bad habits out, yeah? And get the real thing, which is devotion to Krishna. So Indradumna Swami actually said, he actually experimented. He was trying to see whether Prabhupada's analogy actually is true or not. So he did put milk in water. And when he put milk in the water, and he saw actually the swan drank all the milk and the water as well. But after a while, he saw the water was coming out from the beak of the swan. So when water was coming out from the beak, so he understood actually that swan, when he takes it in, he took the milk, but then he was spitting out the water, or no, he or she, yeah. So that's what, and he said actually that made him believe that analogy of Prabhupada is very much true. Yeah. So yesterday's question from Ravi Prabhu was about will we actually, when we go to material spiritual world, and Shyamananda Prabhu was saying that where Prabhupada said even if you get 70%, then you will enter the spiritual kingdom. So it was a deal Prabhupada made. So Ravi Prabhu asked actually, what, if we get that 30%, are there chances that we'll come back to this material world? So Prabhupada was asked a similar question, and it was saying, will we remember material world when you are in the spiritual world? So Prabhupada says, yes, you will remember it, but it will be like a bad dream. This is what Prabhupada says. He says, when you have a bad dream in this material world, you don't want that to come. So when you are in a spiritual world, you will remember it. It will be like a bad dream, and you'll say, I don't want to go to this place. Yeah. So even if you get your 70%, so Prabhupada answered that question, when you are in that spiritual world, you won't return because you don't want to return to this miserable place. So Other thing which when I was listening to Indra Yumna Swami about thing, he said Krishna is the actual architecture of this world. He said in 10.8, we recited this word, Aham sarvasya prabhavo mata sarvam pravartate iti matva bhajante mam buddha bhava samambita. Yeah. So he said, I'm a source of both spiritual and the material world. Yeah. So he's the source of everything. So he knows exactly what material world is going through. And that's why Bhagavad Gita was spoken. So he's telling us, you must return. Yeah. You must return to spiritual world. So the question was asked. He was actually saying that, are you actually putting enough efforts to overcome the bodily concepts of life? He said, do not wait until it is too late and have any regrets at the time of death. Yeah? What kind of vision you would like to have? So you must have a vision at the moment, and we must put efforts. Yeah. Another thing which he quoted, which was about Jesus, is Jesus said, be in this world, but not of the world. Yeah, so he said, you be in the world, but not of the world. Because he says, what is this world? This is only a temporary place. Even Jesus said that. Yeah. So that is my end of this this text. But I would like to share something from yesterday, some sort of, I don't know whether we've got time or not. So I want to share. There is also other program at 6 o'clock by Sutapa Prabhu, which I can join later. But there's a program. Can I share my screen?
Prabhuji, are you able to share now?
Let me check. Can you all see my screen?
Yes, Prabhuji.
You can. So this is actually just Bhagavad Gita wisdom. This was from Chaitanya Charan Prabhu. He actually does a lot of things on Bhagavad Gita wisdom, and he sometimes compiles different texts related to wisdom. Yeah. So we'll just do a few. So from yesterday, I don't know whether people can see it, and can somebody read that? So we can also take turns and read it. So can you see this?
Yes, Prabhuji, we can see it.
Do you want me to start reading the first one, and somebody can read the second one?
Okay, Prabhuji, I can read the second one, or I can.
Okay, I'll read the first one. So, is the Gita declaration about the world's distressful nature pessimistic? So when we hear of Bhagavad Gita statement in 8.15 that the world is place of distress, we may wonder, isn't this pessimistic? No. If we understand what is meant, it is meant to do, and what it is not meant to do. Meant to reset our baseline expectation. If we travel to a cold place expecting it to be warm, we will be in a nasty shock. Similarly, if we go through life expecting it to be wonderful, we'll become disorientated, disheartened, even dysfunctional. When we encounter perplexities, adversities, and perversities, frustration is a function of expectation. The greater the mismatch between expectation and reality, the greater the frustration. The lesser the mismatch, the lesser the frustration. By warning us in advance that the world is not a place for enjoyment, the Gita helps us decrease our frustration when we encounter frustrating situation. Not meant to be an inescapable prediction. Just because we travel to a cold place doesn't mean we have to freeze. We can protect ourselves appropriately by, say, warm clothes. Similarly, just because world is distressful place doesn't mean we have to be distressed. We can protect ourselves appropriately. How? By pursuing a purpose of meaningful that it makes the distress bearable. And the Gita provides such a purpose, the spiritualization of human consciousness. The more we raise our consciousness to the spiritual level, the more we can tolerate and even transcend the world's distresses. In fact, this is what the Gita did for its original student, Arjuna, when he was faced with a distressing difficulty duty. So one sentence summary, the Gita declaration that the world is place of distress is not meant to be an inescapable prediction that makes us fearful, resigned. It is meant to reset our baseline expectation that makes us spiritually prepared. So somebody can read the next one, and we'll probably read other ones afterwards, but this is the second one. Is about tap of power of negative thinking.
Hare Krishna, I'll read the second one.
Okay, thank you.
Tap the power of negative thinking. Chapter 8, text 15. Nourish yourself, positive attitude. Yes, you read the right. We are discussing the power of negative thinking, not positive thinking. Every time a fire is prevented by an excessively placed fire extinguisher, the power of negative thinking is at work. Someone has the power to imagine the negative possibility of a fire occurring. That's why they place the fire extinguisher there for emergency use. Negative thinking, in the sense of envisioning negative possibilities, equips us to prevent those occurrences or to at least minimize their fallout. The capacity to envision any counterfactual situation is a gift. Just as someone who can vividly imagine a grand skyscraper replacing a dirt pile is gifted, so too is the person who imagines emergencies that may occur in the skyscraper. Both gifts are needed for the project's success and safety. Is negative thinking always a gift? No, it becomes a liability when it controls us. When we think negatively all the time and dwell only on problems, never on solutions. If we automatically look at negatives in any given situation, how can we tap that power? By 3 resources. Right position. We need positions centered on checking for negatives. Though all positions require some such checking, certain positions place a premium on it. Positions such as safety manager, quality regulator, or a book editor. Right association. We need association where our gift is valued and simultaneously complemented by someone with the gift of positive thinking. right conception. We need worldwide view that provides a meaningful purpose of our power of thinking, including negative thinking. Addressing that need, the Bhagavad Gita 8.15 urges us to use our negative thinking to acknowledge the world's distressful nature and use our power of thinking to spiritualize our consciousness, thereby transcendenting material distresses. One sentence summary: negative thinking can be a power if it helps us envision negative situation that we need to prepare for. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So we can do just two. We probably do other. I've got some more for 8:16 as well. So we can just do those two, and we'll continue those some other time. Yeah.
Okay. Okay, Prabhuji. Thank you very much for today's mentorship. You took us through the world being a Dukhalay and telling us how we can start our Krishna consciousness right from home, and using all the negativities to situate ourselves in such a way that we get positivity. And we also discussed the various planets, and we made a conclusion that it's better to go to Golak Vrindavan than to go to other material planets, however good they are, however promising they are. And we can continue with that tomorrow. So Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, thank you very much
Krishna,
for today.
thank you.
Let's unmute and chant the Maha Mantra once to glorify Prabhuji. And also today's Hare Krishna,
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Vancha kalpa tarubhyascha kripa sindhubhya eva cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namah.
Srila Prabhupada ki
Ki
jai.
jai.
Srila Avinash Prabhuji ki jai.
Everyone ki jai. All Vaishnava ki jai. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Prabhuji. Can you share the link of Sutapa, Prabhuji, please?
It is not Sutapas, it is Chaitanya Charan Prabhu.
Okay.
So I will send it to you. Yeah.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Okay.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Bol.
Hare Bol.